بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا، وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. لله تبارك وتعالى. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. ما شاء الله تبارك وتعالى. I pray that all of you are well. I pray that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is continuously pouring down upon you His endless mercy, and that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is fulfilling all of your noble intentions and completing your pious actions. Inshallah ta'ala, I just want to have a brief beneficial reminder. And it is important to count and remember the blessings of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala upon us. And we should constantly be in a state of presence to the extent that we recognize the immense bounties of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala upon us in our lives. And the only one who would be able to do that is the one who pays attention. You know, everything occurs in the time and at the place and in the way that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala willed it. Nothing is out of order. Nothing. Everything is going the way Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala willed it in Al-Azal, in pre-eternity. Before there was any creation, everything is going the way Allah eternally willed it to go. And there is a wisdom in that, and there's a secret in that. You know, Allah told us in the Quran, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ. And you will not will anything except that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala willed it. And the Prophet ﷺ taught his daughter, مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ كَانَ وَمَا لَمْ يَشَأْ لَمْ يَكُونَ. Whatever Allah willed to be, shall be. And whatever Allah did not will to be, shall not be. And we talked about a portion of a verse in the Quran where Allah said that Al-amru kullahu lillah, that the entire affair belongs to Allah. He is fa'alun lima yurid, the one who does whatever he wills. Subhanallah. And we intend sometimes for things, and we want it bad. We want it to occur. In good things, I'm talking about. But it sometimes doesn't occur when and how we would like it. And if we're not present with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometimes we can become frustrated. Sometimes we can become disappointed. And those times when we want something and it doesn't occur, or it doesn't occur the way we want it to occur, and we may get a little frustrated, we may be a little disappointed, those times are reminders for us that the entire affair belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And nothing will occur except as He willed, when He willed, and how He willed. And that is, for the wise person, a comfort in your faith. It is a reminder. And then when that thing occurs, you learn to have confidence and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and realize what Allah said in the Quran, لَهَا مَا كَسَبَتْ وَعَلَيْهَا مَا اكْتَسَبَتْ, that the servant is rewarded for the good deeds it acquired, or he acquired, and punished for the sins. So it's a matter of al-kasb, not al-khalq. It is a matter of acquiring, not creating. In other words, you just direct your intention towards a deed, and Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, the one who is described as fa'alun lima yurid, the one who does whatever He wants, He takes care of it the way He wants it to be. Subhanallah. So yesterday was a beautiful day for me. Subhanallah. I had one of the most joyous days that I've had in a long time. And I had a lot of joyous days, but yesterday was so special. So special. Subhanallah. It showed me that al-amru kullahu lillah, that Allah, the whole affair belongs to Him. And it also showed me the reality of statements that we talk about all the time. And we know them and we believe them. But sometimes when you see it manifest, it increases your iman. It strengthens your confidence and reliance on Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. You know, Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Right? Those who struggle toward us, we will guide them to our ways. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And Allah is with those who do good, the people of ihsan. So it's a striving. And then that striving comes the tawfiq from Allah. وَمَا تَوْفِيقِي إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. And my success is only from Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. He is the one who creates in the slave the ability to do a ta'at, to do the acts of obedience. And it is the reality of what Imam al-Haddad put in his diwan, jahid to shahid, struggle and you will witness. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes our city, my city, the city I'm from, Atlantic City, and a place of knowledge and benefit, and a pillar of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah in this country. And I see it coming together. For decades of struggle, it's like manifesting through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a way that you could never imagine. Which is just that reminder. Al-amru kullahu lillah. Just be patient. The matter belongs to Allah. Just be patient. Fa'alun lima yurid. He does what he wants. Inshallah, over the next year or so, you're going to see some amazing things coming out of Atlantic City. Amazing. I hope that you save your money. You're going to have a lot of trips to Atlantic City. So save your money. You're not going to want to miss history in the making. Make a saving account just for travel to learn in Atlantic City. Make a special savings account that you always replenish just for that. With that intention, this savings account is for me to travel to seek knowledge to Atlantic City. We're getting ready to take off, inshallah ta'ala. If you thought we did a lot in the past, what we have the noble intention to do in the future would make like we wasn't working before. Subhanallah. We're getting ready to take off. In a way that none of us could have planned. None of us probably would even have thought about. Not being possible. But with Allah, it's all easy. MashaAllah. And all of us will play a role in that. A sheikh told me yesterday, I mean, I heard this before, but I was talking to a sheikh yesterday. And we had a long talk, very beautiful discussion. We were talking about knowledge and methodology and the Islamic sciences. It was a beautiful conversation. And he said to me, he was describing what he observed in a city he was in, because he wanted to teach. So we were exchanging our routes of learning, how he acquired the knowledge, and I was telling him how I acquired the knowledge. And we were just exchanging who my teachers were, who his teachers were, what he learned, what books he learned, what books I studied. We were just, exchanging. And he said something to me about his situation, which reflects, I feel the same thing sometimes. He said, I sit waiting for people to come to teach what we're talking about, and no one wants to learn. He said they're not interested, not uninterested, they don't even know it exists. So he was very happy, as I was, to be having this type of conversation, right? He said they don't even know it exists. And because he felt alone, because when you're in such an environment, you have to put everything you love down for the vain desires of others sometimes. And when I say vain desires, meaning it's so far away from what we should be doing, and what we really want to do is just not there. So, you have this concept. I don't throw out bath water. I don't throw the baby out with the bath water. I don't do that. I take benefit, even if it's a word, wherever I found it. So I'm setting that up because I'm going to tell you something. Y'all ready? All right. Can we all put something? Never throw out the baby with the bath water. Can we put that up? Please. Everyone put that up. Never throw out the baby with the bath water. Can we put that up? Can we copy this? Can we copy that, everybody? Put it up. I'm going to share something with you. Y'all have to engage me. We do it all the time, which is a mistake. Don't do it. Never throw out the baby with the bath water. Okay. Please don't just listen. Make that a rule. Never throw out the baby with the bath water. The bath water is dirty, not the baby. You need the baby. It's going to be beneficial one day. The baby may be your leader. Don't throw it out with the bath water. So that comes in everything. There's always some benefit. Find the benefit and use it. Find the wisdom and keep it. The rest of the stuff you can discard, right? Wa alaikum salam. And sometimes you can have some water that is najis. And if you add pure water to it reaches kullatan, and there is no trace of najis, that water becomes tahur, purifying. Did y'all catch that? Sometimes you can have water that is najis. But if you add pure water to it reaches kullatan or more, and there is no more trace of the najis, that water becomes tahur. It becomes purifying. Y'all got it? I'm going to show you how to apply fiqh in real life. So, when I was a kid, I grew up as an Ansar. I grew up as a kid in Brooklyn, New York, in Philadelphia. I grew up as an Ansar. Now y'all made me forget my thought. I hate that. Oh, okay, I got it back. Came back. Right? So, do any of y'all know the Ansars? So I'm going way back. That's the baby. Got you. Right? So I grew up like that. And it had pure water that was affected with najasa. So it became najis, right? So it became najis, right? It had pure water, but some najasa got in it, and it was less than kulatain, so it became najis. But the asl of it was pure water before the najasa. It was pure water available, but it got affected with najasa, so it's najis. You can't use it. However, I learned when I traveled overseas, Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. I learned the creed of the Ash'ariyah and the Maturidiyah and the madhab of Imam al-Shafi'i and Tasawwuf. So I poured that pure water on top of that najis water until it became a huge, big container, which was above kullatan. And what was left was no najasa. So the water became pure and purifying. And hence, you are learning and benefiting. Y'all got the analogy? So one time, there was a saying that the leader of that organization, and that time we called him Imam Isa. For us, we called him Abu. We didn't call him Imam Isa. For real Ansars who lived in the community, he was Abu. And I was a kid, so for me, he was Abu. My first Islamic garb, a white Sudanese-looking garb, came from him. Right? That was like, and I remember I used to wear that garb every day for years as a kid. Like, I'm talking about, and I would wash it. We had some, that's a whole nother story. Because we used to always wear white. And we used to like never wear nothing else. White all the time. White Sudanese robe all the time. Right? And I only had one because I was a kid. He had given me my first one. I was a kid. And I used to keep it clean. We would wash it in a bucket with lye and a stick. And that way your garb would just stay white, like shining white. So you want to know how they kept it white? That's how we used to keep it white. Get like a paint bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, put it with water, put some lye in it, and stir it up. Lye eats stuff. Put it in there, and then shuffle real quick. Get it out, wash it out, and your garb be like brand new every. You don't do it every day because lye gets the material, but you do it regularly, and it just it stay like you never wore, like brand new almost, right? I'm reminiscing, right? Those days, they like I said, it was najasa, and the water became najis, but so many things that I took that were good and poured purifying water on top of it till it became pure itself, and now it can be used for good. So he used to say something, I never forgot it, and it relates to what I was just telling you about the sheikh. He used to say, I come giving you what you want, so you will want what I have to give. It's a powerful statement. It's a wise statement. Even if he used it in the najis, filthy way, the statement itself, the baby, is pure and very beneficial and very wise. Just take out the najasa, pour more purifying water so there's no najis, right? The water is not najis anymore. It's purifying, and use it to purify others. So he said, I come giving you what you want, so you will want what I have to give. Man, that's so deep. The layers of wisdom in that statement. I don't know where he got it from. I just know that's what he used to say all the time. Like all the time. I come giving you what you want, so you will want what I have to give. That was his Sufi talk. It was deep though. And when I think about it, I'm like, that's what we have to do. So that sheikh was telling me that. I told him, I didn't tell him this, but I told him the meaning of that saying. I didn't tell him the saying. I told him the meaning of that saying. Because you want people to learn Ahl-Sunnati wal Jama'ah and Al-Ulum al-Islamiyya in the proper way. But they have a default system in this country that is najis, just like the Ansar's doctrine was najis. They just don't realize it. Oh, that hurts, right? You want to teach them pure Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah with no adulterations. Right? You want to teach them. But the default setting in this country, in a lot of communities, and that sheikh doesn't deal with us. He's in suburban communities, right? With immigrants. But it's the same default setting in America, which is najis. It's not purified water, purifying water. It's najis. But the people don't realize it's najis. So when you come to them, you have to come to them in a way that you give them what they want. So eventually they will trust you enough for you to give them what they need, which is Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Very important. Even so-called Sunnis today can't handle Sunni Islam. They have to alter it. They have to water it down to the point that they water it down to the point that they make people think that's Sunni Islam. No, that's a watered down version. It is mixed with a material, even if it may be pure, that's your compromising stance, to the point it is no longer termed water. You still can't use that to purify things. It's pure, it doesn't have najis, but it cannot be purifying. The way you're giving Ahl Sunnah is tahir, but it's not mutahir. It's pure. We can use it for something else, but it ain't purifying nothing. But it's not najis. I hope y'all get my analogies tonight. We're studying fiqh and learning about life at the same time, or today rather. Are y'all following all this? I'm throwing shots and everything. It's me. I'm a mess. May Allah help me. I can't help myself. I need more tarbiyah. I need more training. Ya Latif. May Allah help me. SubhanAllah. The object is to purify the thing. Pure water does not purify anything. It's not najis, but it's not purifying. The objective of tahara is to purify something. So don't bring me pure water and think I'm going to make wudu or ghusl with it. It don't work. I need purifying water. It ain't najis. Hey, but I still can't use it for the purpose. Oh my goodness. my goodness. Anyway, that wasn't my point of discussion, but something led me there, so I had to throw it out. Had to had to use it. Anyway, so he said something to me, that sheikh, and I told that story about I come giving you what you want, so you will want what I have to give from the Ansars, because it's something we have to apply in our time with people who haven't been exposed to true Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. And I'll give you an example of this. The mere mention of the word Wahhabi, to some of us, be honest, it rubs you the wrong way. Be honest. Some of us, if we just say the word Wahhabi, you as a Sunni, you're supposed to be Sunni, you get, why are they saying Wahhabi? Seriously, some people are like that. And if you examine those people, they used to be Wahhabi. If you closely examine the one who goes, especially against us in this issue, if you examine their story, they used to be Wahhabi, most of them. They used to be Wahhabi, or they're afraid of conflict. One of the two, that's usually the case. I'm not saying in every situation, but the majority of times when you see a person like that, that person used to be Wahhabi. Or that person is afraid of conflict. And they feel that that's going to bring about conflict. Not purify stuff is going to bring about conflict. So I don't, no smoke. Right? But they do know it's real. So they are Sunni. So they know it's true, but man, just don't say that. Just, So in other words, what you're saying, give them what they want so they would want what we have to give. So you're applying that meaning in your own way. Are y'all following me here? Because it's scattered thoughts. You got to be able to follow the pattern. It goes all over the place because it's called scattered thoughts. But it's a continuous message if you follow. Are y'all following me? By the way, doing this, I'm giving you what you want, so you will want what we have to give. And I'm actually teaching you how to study. Just by doing this, I'm teaching you how to study. I'm training your mind how to study Islam. I know it's an unorthodox methodology, but that's the part of giving you what you want, so you want what we have to give. So I told him, he said to me, that sheikh, he said, no one wants to come learn. Not only that, they don't even know what learning is. I said, sheikh, teach them this. He said, but they don't need that. I said, but that's what they want. Teach them this, and through this, you'll be able to eventually teach them what they need to know. And he stopped. I said, trust me, I got experience at it. Listen to me. Teach them this. As you teach them this, that's what they want. I know they don't need it. I know you think it's above their heads. I know you think, this is for learned people and students of knowledge and scholars. They think they students of knowledge and scholars. Teach them. But teaching them that, you'll eventually be able to teach them what they need to know. If you go the other way, they're going to reject you. Don't do that. If you go and try to push on them or force them to get what they need first, they're not going to accept. Find a way to give them what they want, and then add water, add water, add water till it becomes kulitain and they'll have what they need. And he looked. He said, you know what I feel like? I feel like the scholar, that's what he said, who went to a town and he sat there and no one came to learn. No one sought legal rulings from him. Then he left that town. He said, this is a town where knowledge dies. I said, so don't be like that scholar. Give the people what they want till they reach the people, till they reach the point where you can give them what they need. We're still in that process of giving you what you want. So one day you love me enough, you trust me enough, so I can give you what you need. Because many of us don't even realize that there is something we need that we don't have. And we find all kinds of excuses not to acquire it. He was very happy. And I said to him, I said, Sayyidi, we should work together to do that. We should work together to do that. I know there is a modern methodology. Let's work within that modern methodology to eventually push the people, guide the people to the old time religion that we both learned that almost seems to disappear in our time. It takes time. But it's worth it, and you'll see the result. But you got to have vision. See Islam 100 years from now, when we're gone. And I'm looking at what is occurring in my own area and in my own orbit. We get ready to move. I see it. I'm watching it, everything coming together. I'm like, but this is a long journey. For me to get where we're at today took me and my efforts 30 years just to be where we at today. 30 years. I want you to picture that. To be where we're at today, doing what we're doing today, planning what we're planning today, organized the way the lessons we're doing today. It took 30 years of struggle to get here. 30 years, 3-0. That's a long time. 30 years of constant work. Knocking at the door. 30 years. And you got people coming, and like it took us 5 minutes. It ain't take no 5 minutes. It's a 30-year effort, bro. What you talking about? 30 years. And some of the worst conditions you could imagine trying to teach Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. I remember me and Sheikh Imaduddin Abu Hijla, rahimahullah ta'ala. Let's recite Al-Fatiha for Sheikh Imaduddin. Fatiha. we were talking about knowledge and Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. And we were very close. You know, we spent a lot of time together, like one-on-one, me and Sheikh Imaduddin. Right? I was fortunate enough to facilitate his coming back and forth to the United States from Yemen, from Hadramaut, from Tarim. So for years, we were together, like years, talking and communicating and studying, and for years. So one day we were in my house. I don't know what we were just talking about, like the early days of a da'wah. And somehow we got on prison life. And he was asking me about that life. So I was telling him what we went through to spread Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah in the prisons. And it was rough. Rough. It was so rough that there were times that I thought I would never see free society again in my life. That's how rough it was. It was times I had just given up the thought of I would ever be a free man again. That's how rough it was. I want you to put your mind in that I'm never going home. This is it. I'll be here forever. Because of the intensity of the struggle in doing da'wah, the result, the consequences of that, the conflict that came about trying to teach the knowledge. And so we were talking about that. So I was showing him at like all these letters, and we used to like write our own like newsletters. I don't know why we stopped that stuff. Like just as we used to write our own newsletters like every week. So the Imam, we had like a newspaper in our institution, community, the Muslims, and the Imam would write every week a letter, an article about whatever he was trying to get across to the community. And I happened to always be, wherever I went, an Imam, right? So I was always writing these letters, these articles. So I was reading some of them. I had some of them. I don't know where they're at, but I had them at that time. I had them in a big file. So I was reading them to him, and he was sitting there like, "Y'all was talking like this in there?" I said, "We Sunni, we Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah." He said, "Wow." I said, "It was like a university. We were not playing games." He was just blown away that in America, inside the prisons, that such things were talked about and taught in books and studied. He was blown away. And I said, we were laying the ground of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah in this country. And the wisdom that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and his wisdom, it looked rough on the individual. But the way that worked is we were sent all over the country because they kept separating us and move you, put you in this and diesel therapy and boom, 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 right? Diesel therapy is when they consider you a problem. So they just move you from institution to institution all over the country, nonstop, just from this place to 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 this place. Never let you get settled, right? That's called diesel therapy. So, you ever saw the movie Con Air? Any of y'all saw that movie with Nicolas Cage? Y'all saw that movie Con Air? I know y'all too spiritual to watch movies. I get it. But you non-spiritual people, did you ever see that movie Con Air? So you know, they took them into prison and they put them on the back of the airplane and they walk up the thing and they cage them all up and put the stuff all on them and black box them and all that. That's real. That's not fake. That's real. Trust me firsthand, I know it's real. It's real. It's really real. It does happen regularly, every day, all around the country. Right? It's not fake. It's real. It's in the movie, but it's real life. Some people right now are going through that, right? Exactly right now. It's movement time. Well, we went through that, right? And it's designed to break your spirit. Like, because it's rough. It's designed to break your spirit. Anyway, with that though, we went all around the United States. And you would meet people that normally you would have never met if you wasn't in that situation. So you're giving da'wah everywhere you go. So every place you go, people are now being exposed to Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. If it's for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, ship months, sometimes you get a year, then they ship you somewhere else. It happens. It's just, that stuff is, but the wisdom is that every place you go, if you stay steadfast, people are learning. Then they'll teach. And you're there, so you don't have nothing to do all day but teach. So that's why you got to memorize books. That's why you have to memorize stuff. That's why you have the lessons. So all the stuff that we teach, we had memorized. So, because you don't have enough property, you don't have books, you don't have anything. So you got to be able to do that from your mind. So if we want to teach Aqidah Tahawiyah, you have to teach it from your mind. You want to teach fiqh, you got to teach it from your mind. Whatever you got to teach, you got to have it here. It has to be memorized. So whenever you get settled, for a little bit of time, the whole time is memorizing, because you know you're going to get moved. So when you got to get moved, you still got to teach. So you got to have this stuff in your mind, right? You don't have books. And it's a training ground, right? So he was like sitting, he was like, wow, how did y'all do that? I said, Allah gave us tawfiq. That's it. But it was difficulty. It wasn't all ease. There was some suffering. But that was our portion of the da'wah. And then now many of us from those days are home and teaching and spreading in their areas all around the country. And many of those brothers are here right on the thing watching today. They know what I'm talking about. They know me very well. You know, they were with me. They were in the struggle, some of them right here, right? And some of them were right here, were scared to death. No, I'm joking. Come on, man, chill, man. Just chill, bro, chill. No, we must defend the creed of Ahl Sunnah. Stop being scared. I'm older now. I was a young boy, so I had a little crazy energy, right? Stop being scared. Get a dog. Stop. Youth is kind of foolish, trust me. Oh, man. But the same methodology that was used there were used by our scholars in the past, and the same methodology we have to use now. Right? And I look at that same process outside to where we at today. I'm like, MashaAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-amru kullahu lillah. The matter is entirely for Allah. And we're just starting. I get a long story to say, listen, we getting ready to get busy. We just starting. We just warming up. But warming up after what? That long journey. All that stuff to be here in this space, in this time. MashaAllah ta'ala. Through all that. And if I look at my life, I look at a 44-year journey to where we at. From the time I uttered Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all the trials and all the going through the najasa and getting purified and going through this and kulatain and duna kulatain and going through all that and tahur and tahir and najis and going to get to now we're at the point that mashallah we can start giving out purifying water. Straight. That's a blessing. Right? That's a blessing. That is a big, huge blessing. And then think we keep working and it's passed on to succeeding generations with an unbroken chain of narration. We just reestablished, reconnected our lineage to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, never to be broken again, inshallah. Man, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. This stuff is huge. But if we thought the baby with the bathwater, we'll never appreciate all what Allah has done for us collectively. And every one of us have these stages of development, these stages of going through filth, pure things to purifying things. That's the journey. Right? That's the journey. Right? So prepare for this journey. So I go back in closing. Make sure you have a savings for just traveling to Atlantic City. We're getting ready to do some huge things, something that has never been done in our communities, ever, as recorded. When I say never, we don't know about it. But I highly doubt it that what we're getting ready to do has ever been done in our communities, ever. And if it was done, it wasn't preserved. So that means we got to preserve. And it wasn't done for the masses. It means we got to do it for the masses. We're going to take this thing to another level. Especially in the inner city communities. It's never happened. I don't know nowhere. I would love to see it. So we're going to do it, inshallah ta'ala, and then move it around the country. And I don't know anywhere. I don't know no one I don't know anyone who has done or is doing in our communities what we're talking about. I don't know any. If you do, tell me. I don't know. We ask all the time. I asked the other day. Everybody said, I don't know. So what do you want? Right? I don't know. I don't. I'm looking. We don't have it. Even the best of what I know is not there. It don't exist. There may be some aspects, but like just in our communities where it's the norm, no. Not that I know. And I know mostly all the big Sunni communities, and I know them and know they ain't doing it. They still doing the first step, giving us what we want. We ain't even thought about what we need yet. Let me give you a question. Are y'all ready? Let's take 3453. Y'all ready? Quickly. Here's the bar. You can answer your own question. What does the 3 stand for in 3453? Hmm? What does the 3 stand for in 3453? What does it represent? Hadith Jibril. And what are the main components related to what Islamic sciences in the Hadith Jibril? So that's the 3. So there are 3 components and they relate to 3 main Islamic sciences. Let's just start there. What are the 3 sciences that relate to the Hadith of Jibril? So Islam, Iman, and Ihsan, which represents what sciences? What sciences, Islamic sciences, do those 3 represent? They indicate what sciences? Aqidah, fiqh, and tasawwuf. Who said that besides Imam Amin? What scholar said that? I told you. What scholar said that? He said, Imam Amin be going hard. What scholar said that? Did I just pull it out of my pocket? Who said that? What great scholar said that? Now we guessing, Farouk. Anyone remembers? No. I told you before. Go check your notes. You gotta go way back, like 4 years ago notes. No, no. Imam Tajuddin as-Subki. He mentioned that explicitly. Imam Tajuddin as-Subki. In his Tabaqat, he mentioned it explicitly. So let's take those 3 sciences. So Aqidah, Al-Iman, Aqidah. In Aqidah, Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah are represented by 2 madhabs. What are they? In Aqidah, in the science of Aqidah, Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah are represented by 2 madhabs. What are they? Ash'ari, Maturidi. Could everyone put that? In Aqidah, Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah are the Ash'aris and the Maturidis. Right? You should keep putting this so it doesn't get forgotten. We're trying to preserve. If you stop mentioning it, having pure water that's not purifying, people are going to forget this stuff. You don't mention it enough. The more you repeat, the benefit. If you keep not saying Ash'ari, Maturidi, it will go forgotten, period. People are not going to remember. They're going to just say, I follow Quran and Sunnah, and that's it. You're destroying our deen by not saying Ash'ari and Maturidi without realizing it. You don't realize that's what you're doing, but I'm telling you, you're setting up for us to have no religion when you do that. So whenever you get the chance to say we are Ash'ari, we are Maturidi in Aqidah, say it. Don't let no one intimidate you. Say it, say it, say it. Step by step, Habib Salam. Step by step. Don't open the door to confuse people when they don't fully understand a foundation. Not every truth should be told at every time. Sometimes you got to go in stages. Okay. So Ash'ari and Maturidi. Now, let's move another step. In our communities that we commonly attend, is it a regular practice that the books of the Ash'ari and Maturidiyya, their well-known books, are the established books for teaching Aqidah in our masajid that everyone is aware of? That's a question. The majority of the people in the community know we are Ash'ari or Maturidi, and we study the books of the Ash'ari and Maturidi. And these are the books that we study with a chain of narration back to the authors. Is that normal? You heard what I just said. The community, in our communities, regularly, is known that we are Ash'ari or Maturidi in Aqidah. We study the books of the Ash'ari and the Maturidiyya with an unbroken chain of narration to the authors. Our teachers, we learn from teachers. We are students. Our teachers learn from teachers. They have an unbroken chain back to the books and the author of those books through the books with an unbroken chain back to the great imams, back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Is that normal? And everyone knows that's how we learn. In Aqidah alone. Is that normal? That's the norm. Everyone knows this. It's like drinking the coffee in the morning. Now you understand what I'm saying? It's like I get up and I have my coffee. It doesn't even take effort. Get up, got coffee, because of the sensitivities of the time, I got to drink this stuff. Oh my goodness, it's killing me. But, but it's still coffee, okay, right? So that's the norm. We have to be like that. We have to get it like that. Purifying water. No, not let's water it down. Don't say this, don't say that. Let's, we gotta, none of that. Straight purifying water. It's not the norm. So that's one, right? So we have to establish that. Right? So that's Aqidah. Let's move to Al-Islam, which represents Al-Fiqh, right? And in Al-Fiqh, Ahl-Sunnah are represented by 4 madhabs. What are they? In Fiqh, Ahl-Sunnah are represented by 4 madhabs. What are they? 4, like the 4 horsemen. Right? What are they? Come on, engage. Let's engage. We're learning because you're going to help make this a reality. That's your job. You're going to help make it a reality. And this is one way to do that. Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali. Could you put this stuff in order by time? Like Isa has it, like Abdullah has it. Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali. This order of Imams. Imam Abu Hanifa lived first, then Imam Malik, then Imam Shafi'i, then Imam Ahmed. So just say Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali. Just reverence for the Imams. You know? Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali. I know we would always like to say Shafi'i, then everybody else, but that's not real. Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali. Okay. Okay. Now, all right, let's get out of the names. Now, the same process. In our masajid, a madhab is followed. So we're either Hanafi or Maliki or Shafi'i or Hanbali, not by just name. We study, relied upon books in the Hanafi school, in the Maliki school, in the Shafi'i school, in the Hanbali school, with a sequence of study. This book, a beginner's book, to this book, to that book, to advanced books, to the major books in the madhab. We actually have a system and structured study, and those books are studied with a living teacher, with an unbroken chain, back to the author of those books, back to the imam of the madhab, back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's normal. And everyone knows about it in the masjid. Even the layman who doesn't study knows that's what they do in the masjid. There's a system of books. There's a structure. We study this book first, then we study that book, then you study that book, right? And it all has a chain of narration, and the teachers are explaining, and the books of it, and it's in one madhab. We're not mixing madhahib. We're not all over the place. We don't have nobody who doesn't follow a madhab. This is the structure in our masjid, and it's just like that. Is that common in our communities? In fiqh, so we said aqidah. Now we go fiqh. Y'all ready? Is that common? I'm giving you a picture. Okay. Because there's a lot of us here, you can say in my community, because I'll come visit. If your community is like that, I want to come and I want to see it. So don't, because I'm going to come. You telling me, yeah, my community is like that. I'm on my way. I want to see that. I really want to see that. Then I get there, there's a bunch of default Wahhabi stuff. You be, oh, I was just talking about these 2 people. I said normal. I said, this is the case. This is how it goes. It's well known. Right? Okay, so that's fiqh. Now, the third aspect at tasawwuf, the same process. The major books of Sunni tasawwuf, they're taught. Everyone know we follow tasawwuf. Some follow spiritual paths. Everybody have awrad. Everyone has weirds. Everyone is studying the books of tasawwuf with a chain of narration, with teachers. It's well known. It's not a secret. It's not, don't say that. It's just normal. Sufism, the books of tasawwuf, the major well-known books of tasawwuf among Sunnis is studied regular in the masjid. Like regular, that's just a part of what we do. Mathalan, we read the books of Imam al-Ghazali, the books of Imam al-Haddad, the books of Ibn Ata'illah, like regular. Or other books, they're like of tasawwuf, of well-known scholars. It's just normal. That's what we do. Everyone knows it. We're on the path of tasawwuf. That's normal. We have awrad. Everyone's doing a general weird, right? This is normal stuff. How many of us see that in our communities? I'm giving you what I'm talking about so you can see what I'm talking about. Is that normal in our community? Is that something normal? Sometimes you got to repeat to drive the point home. Right? Now, y'all ready? Hadith. The books of Hadith are taught with a chain of narration through narration and explanation, book after book after book after book, all the way till we finish, start all over, different books, different narrations, all the 6 books, all the other books. It's just a normal thing. We read the books of Hadith normally. In the masjid, there are always sessions of Hadith and books being read and explained. It's normal. That's just what happens. You follow my point? Books of tafsir, classical books of tafsir, they're read with their chains. It's normal. That's what we do. And other Islamic sciences are taught regularly. That's the environment. That's what we need to develop. That's what we're working on. A normal Sunni Islam environment. Step by step. That was the environment we studied in. Was everybody seeking knowledge? No. But the knowledge was always present. You go in the masjid, it is there. Lessons are there. Whether who attends, that's another story, but it's normal. Right? That's normal. You go in, there's books being taught. That's normal. Chains of narration read. That's normal. Different Islamic sciences with an order. That's normal. It's not strange. I ain't saying how much. I'm just saying that the system is normal. It's expected. Anything else is uncivilized. Like, it's uncivilized. What are you doing? You follow my point? That's what we're working on in Atlantic City. Relative to our levels, of course. But it's so normal that over time, and you just put the system in place. Like, you can't come in our masjid And it's accepted that you don't learn your Fara'ain. That's not accepted. Like, you're going to always be reminded you need to learn your obligations. You need to, people are not going to do it sometimes. That's not the issue. But it is normal and it's expected that you are a Sunni Muslim. Right? You can't come in here and you're not Sunni without somebody say, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Not criticizing you, but yo, man, you got to learn. You got to take a book. You got to take a book. You got to sit down and learn. You can't just be not studying and nothing. Even if it's Fara'ain, like, here's a basic book. You have to learn this. And then developing. But the process is you have to learn something. You cannot be ignorant of the deen. No one accepts. Especially your personal obligations. And then the other things must be available so that that's just the norm in the community. That's what we have to work on. With no apologies, no watering it down, no, no, we can't do that. No, do it. Those who are going to advance are going to advance. Those who are not, at least they know their basics and they know that there is something to strive for. It needs to be normal. Like, it needs to be normal. Regularly, like, is this book's being taught? They doing this, they teaching that book. This book is being taught. This book is being taught. Books, really learning, like we do on this platform. But even more advanced, it's just the normal thing we do. And we got to do it. We have to do it so that until it becomes normal. It's going to start off as strange, right? But you keep doing it, it becomes normal. You follow what I mean? Y'all follow me now? So that's what we need. And we'll have to give us what we want till we get there. If I die and see that as a normal practice in our communities around the country, I think we would have done a great achievement. So I say, since we're all together, you've been with me, you come with me regularly, you listen, help me do it. So how are you going to help me do it? Yeah, we do it online, but this needs to be in the physical, in the masjid, on the ground. And you need an example of that so that you can take it to your areas. But it's going to be a struggle. You got to be willing to go through that struggle, because probably in your areas, there's a default Wahhabi position that won't accept that. So that means you got to do some work. You actually have to build yourself. But have a base by which you see it's possible. And let Masjid Muhammad be that base for you. So that, and you're helping me do it because you attend. You saved your money, you make it, and we'll spread it out. It can't be, I know, but you might not make everything. So, because we're going to have it regularly. So you can make some months you can. We announce this book's being taught, this book's being taught, this field of studies being taught, this one we're reading, and you got to discipline yourself to just be able to start to sit and listen and get what you can. You don't have to get everything, but hear it. See the system being put in place. Make it become normal to you, right? You don't have to get everything at once. No one gets everything at once, stage by stage. So sometimes you might not understand most of the things sometimes. What's being said, you're getting your basic obligations, you're getting your stuff, but then you're getting introduced to the system so that the system becomes normal for you, right? I'm telling you, I used to sit in class and I probably understood like 10, 20% in my beginning, 20%. But I would still sit. I remember sitting in the lessons of the Sheikh, and they were all in Arabic. I might understand 20%. But I never stopped, kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going. And I was studying, doing my own studies, doing what I needed on the side with teachers, and then develop. And then one day, guess what? I'm in the lesson and I understand 50%. Then I kept going, keep going. So I'm in the lesson now, and I sit there and I understand 100%. 100%. Very few times there's some words that I may not understand, and that's just a question. But I understand the context, so really it ain't sometimes even that deep, right? Because I understand the context. You do the same thing. Now I can read, I can translate, I can, right? But that's a journey. But it started with me not understanding anything, sitting there and just being patient. I remember one of my teachers in Lebanon, he would say to me, did the meaning you understand? Every 2 lines, do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? I'm like, yeah, I understand. Explain. So in my butchered Arabic, I try to put it back together, but he understood that I understood. And he would keep doing that, keep doing it, keep doing it. To the point we could communicate. And I could convey from him. It takes time. Let's make the environment. Muiz, I need your help desperately. If we never work together, this is the time we must work together. There is something great. I'm going to come visit you today, inshallah, if I can. Get my number. If you don't have my number, send me your number. If you don't have it, when you see Tajammul today, tell him to give you my number and send me your number. We need to sit down and talk. I got good news I want to share with you. Allah is helping us, but I need your help. I need you to be a part of this. We have a great opportunity to make history in Atlantic City. I need your help. You got me out? You follow me? I hate to put you on blast and on the internet, but no, seriously, I need your help. Let's not talk. Let's do it. You know, we have an opportunity to set in our communities a structure that will last for generations and would be a motivator for people all around the country. Let's make Atlantic City not just a tourist town for fun and entertainment. Let's make it a place where people come to learn too. They seek out Atlantic City to come learn. It's a part of their process. Like people go overseas that want to learn. Let's make people want to come to Atlantic City for the same purpose. And we have everything we need to do it. Step by step by step by step by step by step. But we just got to be serious. We can't play games. We have to be on it. And don't look at where we're at today, because where we're at today is part of the journey where we shall end. So don't look at where we're at today. That's just the beginning stages. But Allah put us in a great position. But we have to work. We can't get tired. We can't say we're too old or too busy. This is important. We have to work. And for all of you listening, we need your support and your presence. We need your attendance. Because your attendance and your participation is a motivator for people who have weak aspirations. Your attendance and your participation is a motivator for people who have weak aspiration. They want to do it, but they're not motivated. But when they see groups of women, groups of men who look like them, who are from the same background as them, it's a motivator. And you'll get the reward of that because you would be indicating to goodness. So everyone has a role to play. Don't think, well, I don't know much. Well, just be there. Be there and teach people how to patiently sit in a session that they don't fully understand. Do that. That's a motivation in itself. Even in my classes, my private classes, I see people really, literally, that never heard this stuff, over 65 years old, and I graded their tests, and I'm like, Alhamdulillah. Over 65, never heard this stuff, and they've been motivated by sisters groups, brothers, and they're getting it. They're memorizing terms, they're understanding stuff in Aqidah and fiqh that they would never have known. And it's like they all of them just boom, 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 cases, definitions, rules, boom, 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 boom. Amazing. Some of them over 65, some of them over 70, going, writing notes, just getting it. I'm like, subhanallah. So it's doable. Yesterday, I was in a masjid with some young people and some elders mixed, and they in there learning, memorizing. I'm like, subhanallah, we can do it. And Allah is sending us everything we need to make it happen. We have no excuse except that we lazy and naqis and deficient. That's the only excuse we got. You lazy and deficient. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to seek refuge in Allah from laziness. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to seek refuge in Allah from laziness. Just like he sought refuge from shaitan, he sought refuge from laziness. Don't be lazy. Muslims are people of high himmah. They have high aspirations, lofty aspirations. They have confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they work like that. They're not lazy people. They're not people of excuses. They are people of results. They are people of results. And we're growing. Don't worry, sometimes as we grow, we don't see things, and that's normal. Sometimes we make mistakes in our journey. We don't see the whole picture. Sometimes it comes together as you get older and a little bit of experience and wisdom sets in. You start to see things differently. And what you were, an older told me, I'm gonna tell you, one of the older sisters told me, this is me personally. An older sister said to me, she said to me in the masjid one day, she's one of our elders. She said, Imam, you won, stop fighting. That's what she said. She said, you won, stop fighting. Now just teach. You won. And I looked at her, I was like, deep. She just looked at me in the face. She said, Imam, you won, stop fighting. Just teach. She said, you won, stop fighting. And what was she saying? Masjid Muhammad is Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. You have nothing to fight. Now just educate the people. You don't have to fight anymore. You won. It's Masjid Muhammad is Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. We are Asharis, we are Maturidis, we are Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi, Hanbali, Sufi. We know Asanid, we know chains of narration. All that you talk about, it's understood. Now we just have to do it. There is no fight. I was like, oh. You know, all I know is put them up. You no need to fight. It's over. No one in here doesn't understand what you're talking about. We just have to do it. We understand. That's done. We are Sunni. We are Ahl Sunnah. We are Asharis, Maturidis, Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi, Hanbali, Sufi, Asanid, Shiyut, Talaqi. We got it. Books, reliable books, Madhahib. We understand. Now we just got to motivate ourselves to do it, and we just need you to teach us how to do it. But it's understood. That's not a question here. No one here is going to deviate from the methodology of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah and survive in this building. They're not going to make it. No one is not like that. You won. Stop fighting. But when you in the battle, sometimes you don't see that. We got to get rid of the enemy. That's the warrior spirit. You just keep fighting, even if it ain't nothing to fight. Right? And you learn that takes time. Everyone is not going to be able to articulate what is in their heart easily. That takes time. They understand, but they got to learn how to articulate. And that which takes time. But that also takes a level of gentleness, right? And everybody doesn't have the same oof about every single thing. Some people, I'm with you, but take it easy, man. MashaAllah, rahimahullah ta'ala, rahmatin wasi'ah. So, in closing, I have to go. Save your money. We have a lot of events coming up. Speaking of events, mark this date. I got to get the flyer up. But so this is coming. The flyer will be coming. It is March the 2nd, Saturday. The Black Imams Roundtable will be in Newark, New Jersey, March the 2nd. Saturday, March the 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., all-day program. The great Imam Naeem Abdullah, Imam Genius, the Imam of the Boomba, Imam Fahim Lee, and this poor servant of yours, Amin Muhammad. We're going to be in Newark, New Jersey at the Temple of Hip Hop. So the address is, let me get that. You can Google it, Temple of Hip Hop. Right? Is it hip hop? Yeah, sorry. And the address is 55 Ludlow Street. I have the flyer, but I got to get it transferred to the but you can have it. You can Newark, New Jersey. I don't know the Rock here, what's the area code for that? Y'all made another mistake on the flyer. Let me get the zip code rather. No zip code. Whenever you do an address, you need a zip code. Don't do a flyer without a zip code. Rasuli, stop dropping the ball, man. So Temple of Hip Hop, that should be hip hop. That should be an I. I'm sorry. 55. Okay, let's do this. Where's that at? So I'll do it again. Oh, 7114. All right, there we go. That's the address. So it's Saturday, March the 2nd, from 10 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Black Imams Roundtable. So that's where we're going to be. So it'll be our first. I don't know if it's. I mean, Imam Naeem usually always live streaming. That's his thing. So if he does it, I guess it will be live streamed. But we should, because this is our first time in Newark, in North Jersey, and Lord knows that Newark needs Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. So, inshallah, and they are actually working on establishing a masjid of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah along the lines we're talking about. They're working on that. So may Allah facilitate. So we're aiding them. Inshallah, that they will soon have a masjid, inshallah, where we can regularly start meeting and having books taught and sheikhs come and do what we do. And we just expand from city to city to city, city, and keep going. We got a lot of work to do. Don't cave in. We just beginning. We just starting. But we need your help. And the biggest help you can give right now is your presence. When we do events, make sure you attend to learn, to benefit, to support, right? And just remember, there ain't no party like Atlantic City Party, because Atlantic City Party don't stop. So make sure you get your budget for the Atlantic City trips, because we getting ready to take this thing to another level. And make dua specifically for us to work. It's going to be hard. I need your duas for my work in Atlantic City. If I can get Atlantic City, bi'idhnillah, and get us to cooperate, it's no looking back. That's going to be hard work. So constantly make dua. Make it a daily dua. Oh Allah, help Imam Amin in the da'wah and those who are working with him in Atlantic City. Mention me specifically by name. Because if we're successful and we can get our communities together to cooperate, we can set an example to really push, right? So make dua for me. Make dua that I'm patient. Make dua that I'm soft enough, because I can be kind of hard and rigid. I know that about myself. That Allah gives me a little, because some people need soft. They can't handle straightforward, hard people. And sometimes I don't know how to do the soft stuff. It's a weakness of mine. I only know go hard, right? That's institution being institutionalized. I'm telling you. I realize it. Just go hard. Everything ain't hard. Slow down. Chill. Calm down. So make dua for me because it's needed. It's needed to be a little Jamali, you know? We need to be a little Jamali. Now everything is everybody don't want to fight. Some people just want to get along. So they have their place too. So make dua that I understand both, you know? And it's in the making. So some of you have been making dua. Some of us, seriously, been making dua at the Prophet's grave and at Mecca, at the Kaaba recently. A bunch of our people have been sending me live from Medina and from the Kaaba videos making dua for us. I got one the other day and it made me so happy. And duas are answered, right? But I just want to share this with you. And I hope our brother, because it meant a lot. But look what I was just telling you. Look at this.
Imam, you know I love you. Making dua for you and for all those babies you got, Imam. You all doing me. Making dua for you, Habibi. I love you so much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and increase you in every khair. Place barakah in your sha'ban. Oh my God, this dude just jumps in front of the camera, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you to reach the month of Ramadan and place barakah in your sha'ban. Yes,
MashaAllah. You know, at the Kaaba, making dua, right? And specifically thinking about us. You know, and those du'as are mustajab, they're answered, right? And I had a bunch of people been doing that for our work. So it's going, right? It's going. So let us do our part. We're trying to do something big. Also, lastly, I'm sorry, I got a bunch of stuff. We are intending, may Allah give us tawfiq, everything's in place to have the African American Summit on July 11th through the 14th, 2024 in Atlantic City. So I said that we probably wouldn't have it, but things came together where we possibly can do it. We have speakers lined up. Everything is set up. With what we're doing, I think we can pull it off. But the official announcement won't come to after Ramadan. But right now, it's like 75% a go. I would say 100%, but it ain't, everything ain't finalized, so I won't say 100%. But it's 75%, so I want to give you a heads up, right? So regardless of the magnitude of it, we're going to have a special program during that period, one way or the other. So you can reserve those dates. We're aiming at doing a big African American summit. That's our aim. If not, we're going to do a big knowledge retreat. So we're doing something huge during that weekend. And if we do the African American Summit, there's going to be a portion of it, so don't be weak. At night, we're going to do a knowledge retreat as well. And some Sufi stuff. We're going hard. So get a lot of sleep, because during this weekend, we're not going to sleep. And don't tell me I'm tired. You got 3-4 days to just put it in, to dig in, right? We won't be nowhere near no graduation, Jaffer, by the summit. You got a whole year to go, right? We got a lot of work to do. So this is going to be huge, though. We plan on making this the largest summit we ever had. This one's going to be huge. Inshallah ta'ala. But no matter what, we're going to do something big during these 4 days. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Starting Thursday night, ending Sunday morning. Friday and Saturday, the main days. So I'm going to keep, as we putting it together more and more, I'm going to keep updating, but I'm going to keep that date in your mind. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to put off any major programs in Atlantic City until this, so people can save money. The dates are there, Rosalinda, right? So we're planning on, because I had programs every other month, but because we got Ramadan, and then you got 2 months. I don't want to do nothing too much so people can save their money, because this is going to be expensive. Just traveling to Atlantic City and hotels and that stuff costs money. So maybe we give the people a break to prepare for that. But this is going to be huge. It's going to have 2 components. The summit itself, which is the general for all of our stuff, and then a knowledge intensive that's going to be at nights with spiritual aspects. It's going to be beautiful. I'm aiming high at this one, inshallah. And we already have important presenters and speakers, very important, from around the country. We already agreed, and we have that done. So we just doing more logistics, because this is the biggest we've ever done at this level. So it's gonna take a lot of things to get it, make sure it go. But mark the date. So you got plenty of time to take off from work, to do whatever you got to do. Save your money. I'm going to start putting out hotels, because where we're doing it has hotels, but the hotel prices, according to the package we have right now, for that weekend will be around $600. This is Atlantic City in the summertime. So just for the hotel alone, if you stayed at the site, probably going to be about $600. But I'm going to give you other hotels now, and I'm going to get on that, that's outside the site, that may be a little cheaper. But the idea was that everyone stays at the site, even though it's expensive, but everything, we can be there, easy access, and you don't got to go far, and you're close to the masjid for the night programs. And I'll tell you more about it, the process and the program, but I'm putting it out there. So make dua for its success, because we need these things. I have many surprises in mind for this. Something that we've never done, inshallah. So everybody, yeah, kids can come. Yes, I don't know about babysitting stuff though. That might be asking for a little bit too much. We could try it, but I think that's gonna be difficult. So if you bring kids, you have to be responsible for them, right? And we'll put it all together, inshallah. Out of town, something, I mean, this ain't big, it's local stuff. We could do that. I'm talking about bringing people to Atlantic City and traveling. That might be rough. Local stuff in your area, for people in their area, yeah, we'll still come and do that. But I'm talking about something big where people got to spend their money, because this is going to cost a lot of money, especially for people who have to travel. I expect, just to give an estimate, you need a budget of at least, to be comfortable for that trip, I would try to set aside at least $1,500. I think you'll be good with that. If you get your arrangements early, like your plane, you can get it cheaper. You know, you can get your hotel and stuff. That stuff might be cheaper if you do it earlier in different places. You know, you can cut down if you get on it now. We're going forward. So we will be doing something large that weekend, no matter what it is. And it will be in what I talked about today. All that's going to be a part of it. So just, you know, that's a go. So the date is a go. The details will come out more. So plan to be here, inshallah. So start saving your money now. Cut back on unnecessary spending so that you can actually be here with us. All right, barakallahu bikum. May Allah reward you all. Yeah, okay, glad you signed up. You came up with the bright idea, Mati, so you do it. We'll get the van and you charge it at. You signed up. So see, people already working. See, Mati, he's ready to work. So transporting people from the place to the masjid, you don't got to drive. We can, good. Have some vans. Really do it nice. Yeah, all that's a part. Yeah, that's a good idea. Save your tax money. Put it to something good. Right? And it's going to be a family affair. All right. Barakallahu bikum. May Allah reward you all. I hope this was a beneficial reminder. It was the long 2-hour reminder, boy. My goodness. But inshallah, I think we found benefit in this. Muiz, please get my number or send me a message on Messenger. Send me your number. I need to talk to you. Please do that like immediately. Inshallah. We need to do something. I got something I want to share with you. All right. Barakallahu bikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.